Among the countless religious traditions that have arisen throughout human history, few are as enigmatic and resilient as that of the Yazidis. Rooted in the heart of the Middle East, this ancient Kurdish community has persisted for centuries, preserving its unique blend of beliefs and practices despite facing waves of misunderstanding and persecution. Often misunderstood by outsiders, the Yazidis hold a spiritual heritage steeped in mysticism, one that revolves around the veneration of Melek Taus, the Peacock Angel, and a rich oral tradition that has acted as the custodian of their sacred knowledge. The story of the Yazidis is one of survival, devotion, and an enduring connection to their ancient faith, which continues to fascinate scholars and spiritual seekers alike. The origins of the Yazidi faith are shrouded in mystery, with scholars divided over its precise beginnings. Some trace its roots to ancient Mesopotamian religions, pointing to similarities in their cosmology and reverence for celestial beings. Others argue that the Yazidi faith incorporates elements of Zoroastrianism, Sufism, and other regional traditions, forming a syncretic spiritual system that defies easy categorization. Central to Yazidi belief is the worship of Melek Taus, the Peacock Angel, a figure whose significance and symbolism are as intricate as they are profound. Unlike the dualistic worldview of many Abrahamic religions, Yazidis perceive Melek Taus not as a fallen angel, but as a benevolent and exalted being entrusted by God to oversee the world. This veneration of Melek Taus has often been misconstrued by outsiders, leading to erroneous accusations of devil worship, a misinterpretation that has fueled centuries of prejudice and violence against the Yazidis. Melek Taus holds a central place in Yazidi cosmology. According to their creation myth, God created the universe and appointed 7 archangels to govern it, with Melek Taus as their leader. The Peacock Angel's name evokes beauty, pride, and mystery, symbolized by the resplendent peacock. This figure embodies dualities and transcends conventional moral binaries, reflecting a worldview that sees good and evil as interconnected forces within the divine plan. Yazidi hymns and prayers celebrate Melek Taus's role as a mediator between humanity and the divine, a protector of creation, and a bringer of wisdom and justice. The peacock's vibrant plumage is also metaphorically linked to the diversity and resilience of the Yazidi people, who have withstood countless attempts to erase their culture and religion. At the heart of Yazidi spirituality lies a profound reverence for nature and the cycles of life. Their sacred sites are often nestled within mountains and caves, spaces imbued with spiritual energy and symbolic of their deep connection to the natural world. Pilgrimage to Lailash, their holiest site in northern Iraq, is a cornerstone of Yazidi practice. This ancient sanctuary, with its distinctive conical domes and serene atmosphere, serves as a spiritual epicenter where Yazidis gather for worship, reflection, and communal rituals. During these pilgrimages, devotees perform purification rites in sacred springs, light candles to honor their ancestors, and offer prayers that intertwine personal supplications with cosmic harmony. The rituals at Lailash encapsulate the Yazidi belief in the sanctity of the earth and the interconnectedness of all living beings. Oral tradition plays a pivotal role in preserving Yazidi beliefs and practices. For centuries, the Yazidis have relied on a rich tapestry of hymns, myths, and teachings passed down orally through generations. This reliance on oral transmission has been both a strength and a vulnerability. On one hand, it has allowed the Yazidi faith to adapt and survive in the face of external pressures, ensuring that its core tenets remain intact even in times of displacement and upheaval. On the other hand, the absence of a written canon has made the religion more susceptible to misrepresentation and loss, particularly in the modern era, when the dispersion of Yazidi communities has threatened the continuity of their oral heritage. The role of religious leaders, known as Qawwals, is crucial in maintaining and disseminating Yazidi traditions. These spiritual guides memorize and recite sacred hymns, or qawls, that encapsulate the cosmological and ethical foundations of the faith. Accompanied by music from the tambur, a stringed instrument, the qawls serve as both a form of worship and a means of educating younger generations about their heritage. This oral transmission is supplemented by symbolic practices, such as the lighting of oil lamps to represent divine light and the use of sacred objects like the sanjak, a bronze peacock effigy, in ceremonies. These rituals and symbols reinforce communal identity and serve as tangible links to the spiritual realm. The secrecy that surrounds many aspects of Yazidi practices has been both a protective measure and a source of intrigue. Historically, this secrecy was a response to persecution, as revealing too much about their beliefs often invited violence and discrimination. By maintaining a degree of opacity about their rituals and doctrines, the Yazidis safeguarded their sacred traditions from external interference and distortion. This secrecy has also contributed to their mystique, drawing the curiosity of anthropologists, historians, and spiritual seekers who are eager to understand the deeper layers of Yazidi cosmology. However, this veil of secrecy has not always shielded the Yazidis from harm. Throughout their history, they have faced repeated attempts at forced conversion, displacement, and genocide, the most recent being the atrocities committed by ISIS in the mid-2010s. These events have brought international attention to the Yazidi plight, sparking efforts to document and preserve their endangered heritage. Persecution has been a recurring theme in Yazidi history, shaping their identity as a resilient and steadfast community. From the Ottoman era to the present day, Yazidis have been targeted for their beliefs, often portrayed as heretics by dominant religious groups. This persecution reached a horrific climax during the ISIS-led genocide, which sought to annihilate the Yazidi people and erase their culture. Thousands were killed, and countless women and children were subjected to unimaginable suffering. In the face of such atrocities, the Yazidis have demonstrated extraordinary resilience, drawing strength from their faith and unity to rebuild their communities and reclaim their dignity. The stories of Yazidi survivors, many of whom have become advocates for justice and human rights, highlight the indomitable spirit of a people who refuse to be defined by their victimhood. The preservation of Yazidi culture and religion in the modern era poses significant challenges, but also offers opportunities for renewal and revitalization. Diaspora communities, particularly in Europe and North America, have become centers for cultural preservation, where younger generations are taught the language, rituals, and values of their ancestors. Technological advancements, such as digital archives and online platforms, have enabled the documentation and dissemination of Yazidi traditions, creating new avenues for education and awareness. These efforts are complemented by initiatives to rebuild Lalish and other sacred sites, ensuring that the physical spaces of Yazidi spirituality remain intact for future generations. Despite these efforts, the Yazidi community continues to grapple with the legacy of trauma and displacement. The scars of genocide and the ongoing challenges of reintegration and reconciliation weigh heavily on their collective consciousness. However, the resilience of the Yazidis offers a powerful testament to the enduring strength of their spiritual heritage. Their ability to adapt to changing circumstances while remaining rooted in their traditions underscores the timeless relevance of their beliefs and practices. As guardians of an ancient mysticism that celebrates the beauty of creation, the complexity of existence, and the interconnectedness of all life, the Yazidis embody a spiritual wisdom that resonates far beyond their own community. The story of the Yazidis is not merely one of survival, but of profound spiritual insight and cultural richness. Their reverence for Melek Taus, their oral traditions, and their resilience in the face of adversity offer valuable lessons for a world often divided by fear and misunderstanding. By exploring the beliefs and practices of this ancient Kurdish group, we gain a deeper appreciation for the diversity of human spirituality and the enduring power of faith to inspire, sustain, and unite. The Yazidis remind us that amidst the trials of history, the light of ancient wisdom can still shine brightly, guiding us toward a greater understanding of ourselves and the divine.